chakra flow. Welcome to your morning chakra flow. We'll start this morning in a seat, so finding your comfy position, maybe legs crossed or kneeling. And we'll bring the thumb to the tip of the index finger, resting the back of the hands on the lap. Spine is tall, shoulders are relaxed. Closing down the eyes, softening the gaze. Starting to bring all of the awareness to the top of the head. Noticing the space around the top of the head. Noticing the space between the eyebrows. Noticing the throat, the pit of the neck. Noticing the heart space, the front and the back, space between the shoulder blades. Noticing the navel area. Noticing pelvic area. Finally, noticing the very base of the body, the tailbone. And then drawing all that awareness back up from the tailbone to the pelvis, to the navel area, to the heart space, to the throat, to the space between the eyebrows, to the top of the head. And with the eyes still closed, simultaneously bringing your attention to the top of the head and the space between the eyebrows. Simultaneously bringing your awareness to the top of the head, the space between the eyebrows, and the very base of the spine. If you're at home today, option to take an Om here, inhaling through the nose, and on the exhale, reciting your Om. Gently returning to the room by opening the eyes, letting the light in. Maybe imagine letting the light into that space between the eyebrows. And then from here, we'll start to tip the left ear towards the left shoulder, supporting yourself by bringing the palms to the earth. And it's important here that we take some deep breaths in through the nose and softly releasing out of the nose. And then very gently bringing the head back to center and then starting to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. And again, deep breaths. Maybe noticing if this side feels different. opening up the sides of the throat chakra, Vishuddha, and drawing the head gently back to center. Staying in our seat, we'll bring our hands behind us, fingertips facing the body. And then we'll start to lift the chin and the gaze towards the sky, caressing the tip of the tongue up into the top palate of the mouth, feeling that stretch through the front of the throat, focusing on your breath in and out of the nose, lifting through the sternum. One more breath here. And then from here, we'll interlace our fingers behind the very base of the skull. Start to lower the chin towards the chest. Close the arms a little. Feeling the opening through the back of the neck. Maybe you even feel a pull on the upper back. And again, deep breaths. One more breath here. And then gently releasing the head back up to center, releasing the hands. And we'll start to set ourselves up into a tabletop. Fingers spread wide, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. As we inhale, we're going to reverse our breath here. So as we inhale, we'll press through the palms, drawing the chin to the chest, rounding through the spine. And as we exhale, dropping the belly towards the earth, looking forwards, making space between the shoulders and the ears. Inhale, pressing through the palms, engaging the pelvic floor muscles, chin to chest. Exhale, releasing, looking forwards. Inhale, engaging the pelvic floor muscles, drawing the belly button to the spine, chin to chest, hold. Exhale, release. Inhale, pelvic floor muscles, belly button, chin really towards the chest, constricting the throat. Hold and release. And a couple more here with your own breath. Holding at the top for as long as you like, engaging what's known as the bandhas, the pelvic floor, the belly button and the neck, and releasing all those engagements on that exhale. And finishing off your last round, and we'll meet with a neutral spine back in our tabletop position. And from here, drawing the gaze towards the top of the mat, bringing both hands to the top and then melting the heart space towards the earth, landing the forehead or the chin, Anahatasana. Feeling the heart space here. Maybe noticing as you inhale that front of the heart space presses into the earth. The sides and the back expand. And as you exhale, the front of the heart space softens. The sides and the back shrink a little. One more breath here. Then very gently beginning to rise. Tucking the toes when you arrive. Pressing the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We want our head and neck nice and relaxed. And then from here, we'll start to do some spinal rolls. It's coming onto the tippy toes, shifting the weight forwards, shoulders over wrists. When you arrive, bending through the knees, pressing the hips up and back to our starting position in downward facing dog. Coming onto the tippy toes, shifting the weight forwards, bending through the knees, pressing the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Coming to the tippy toes, shifting the weight forwards, bending through the knees, pressing the hips up and back. Downward facing. And on this last one, we'll land the knees to the earth, bringing them nice and wide if that feels okay. And again, melting the chest towards the earth, forehead lands, arms out in front. Balasana, our child's pose. Sending the breath all the way down to the sacral chakra here. Inhale, drawing the breath through the nose. Imagine it landing in that pelvic area. And exhale, softly release through the nose or the mouth. Perhaps imagining on the inhale that you gather anything stored in the sacral area that you no longer want to hold anymore. As you exhale, you release it up through the spine, through the hands into the earth. One more breath here. And we'll very slowly crawl the hands up towards ourselves, bringing ourselves up into a seat. You might like to stay kneeling, come to cross legs, come to our yoni mudra here, making a triangle, index fingers meet, thumbs meet, placing it right on top of that sacral area. Closing down the eyes, drawing all the awareness into the space beneath the hands, drawing all the breath into the space beneath the hands. Feeling the body press into the hands press into the body with the breath. Feeling any sensations through this space beneath the hand. Just sensing, feeling, not judging. Connecting to your creativity and your flow. Let's draw an inhale in through the nose and softly release through the mouth. Two more rounds of this breath, cleansing the sacral area. Releasing the hands. And we'll start to very slowly bring ourselves down into a cross-legged position if you're not already there. Of course, you can stay in your kneeling if you prefer. Resting the hands anywhere on the lap. And we'll start to draw circles drawing those circles from the root, from the base of that tailbone. You can make those circles as small or as large as you like. Feeling the body meet the earth as you make these circles. And then starting to make those circles from the belly button area. So leading with the navel here rather than the root. You might be moving with your breath here. Inhaling forwards, exhaling back, or you might not. And now starting to explore leading with the heart. Inhaling the chest forwards, perhaps. Exhaling the back of the heart space back, feeling that opening between the shoulder blades. You might like to reverse those circles. And maybe choose which area you felt best leading from. And taking a few more rounds leading from that space as you draw these beautiful circles. We'll start to make those circles smaller and smaller until you come all the way back to center, taking your time. Finding stillness when you arrive. Observing the body, observing the sensations. Let's bring our hands together into Palma Mudra. Hands in prayer at heart center, elbows out wide. Coming back to the body and the breath. And now coming back to that root, meeting the earth. As you inhale, squeezing those pelvic floor muscles. As you exhale, releasing those muscles. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, release. Bowing the head down towards your hands. Thanking yourself for tuning into the energetic body today. Thank you.